to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. How they going? Hope y'all vibing, y'all chilling, y'all enjoying y'all day, y'all productive day. We back at it. Before I start, I'm trying to smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. On the road to 10K subscribers, hit that subscribe button, turn the post notifications on. Want to find me on any other platform? My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at Visually. Follow my TikTok at LOE.Visuals. And follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. I love you guys so much, so much, so much, so much. Make sure y'all like this video and keep me on the algorithm. You know, the likes. It's very important, so make sure y'all like this video. That's all I ask. But let's talk about it. So, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is now headed to Netflix. It was just announced today that the deal is being done, and the fight is gonna be shown on Netflix for no price, just a regular subscription amount, which is crazy. So you know, everybody, if you own Netflix, you're gonna get that fight for free, basically, if you have Netflix, which is crazy, you know. Me personally, I don't know how I feel about it, because you know, the last fight I seen on Netflix was Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I think I watched it, you know, and it buffeted the whole time, you know. It was hilarious. It buffeted the whole time, and I don't think Netflix understood how big, you know, a viewership they were gonna get. So, you know, this time, hopefully they'll understand what they're up against. You know, it was so many people logging on to Netflix that their site was buffering, and they couldn't get they couldn't even get on put on a decent stream, which is crazy. You know, for a company as big as Netflix couldn't handle something like that. You know, so now hopefully, they've made the adjustments and, you know, fix and tweak the small mistakes that, you know, they can handle something like this, because we don't want to see them put on a big fight like this and screw it up, and, you know, the fans miss out on a great event. You know, so Netflix right now, they're in a hot seat, you know, and that should really show, you know, boxing fans that, you know, boxing is really getting away from, you know, TV. Boxing is going away from TV. It ain't no more ESPN, Showtime, HBO. You know, you got the Zone, that's out. But, you know, as far as regular television, you're not getting fights on CBS anymore. It's over with, you know, for boxing men on TV, which is crazy to say. But, you know, it's been a long run of not making fights, guys avoiding each other, you know, promoters not want to work with each other, and it basically, you know, it made the sport put out such a bad product that, you know, TV companies and television networks don't even want to work with boxing, you know, boxing promoters, or, you know, do boxing events. So, you know, Netflix and the Zone have to come out the woodwork, you know, to grab fights and, you know, host fights. We can't even get, you know, regular fights and good fights on regular networks. You know, that's crazy. You know, networks are basically scared to even deal with boxing. So, you know, they're gonna find them something to replace boxing with, you know, crazy as that sound. You know, I wonder what it is, but, you know, Netflix, in my opinion, you gotta make this, you can't this up, Netflix. You can't. It's bad. You can't this up. You got a few months to prepare. Fight September, so you got time to prepare, get the tweaks. It's gonna be a lot of people trying to watch this, especially for, you know, however much Netflix is, and not paying for a $90 pay-per-view. So a lot of people are gonna be enticed to see it. You know, a lot of people don't watch boxing, but once they see Canelo and Crawford, they're just gonna tap it and click it, and, you know, you're gonna get people that don't usually watch boxing into it. So hopefully they're prepared. But let's move on. You know, at a second topic, you know, people are, you know, making light of a video Crawford was uploaded, you know, training, doing a little shadow boxing in the ring, and, you know, they say he looks, you know, slower, and, you know, I just feel like this is nonsense, you know, because why? Like, you know, if he is, I mean, he's added weight, so I'm pretty sure he might not be the fastest, you know, but in all honesty, boxing has never been a speed game. It's always been the guy who got the better time. Anybody who really knows boxing knows that. It's not a speed game, it's a timing game. Who has the best time? That's all that matters. So for them to be nitpicking a training video where a guy couldn't even, who knows, he might not even been going 100%. He might not even been going 70%, 60%. So how can you just jump to conclusion and say a guy looks slow? You got to see him in the ring for you to say that. Like, you know, if he was in the ring against Canelo and he looked as slow, I would address it. But to go off a training video, we don't know what he was working on. He could have been going at 10%. So I just hate how, you know, fans, you know, and certain people just jump to conclusions and BS conclusions at that. Like, you know, this is anybody else, would you say that? Like, I feel like, you know, it's certain people that, you know, they'll never be able to make the fans happy. You know, certain guys can beat certain guys' favorite fighters. They might not like him for that. You know, certain guys just don't like a guy. That could be a reason. And, you know, you could be blacklisted. You know, it's things that takes the course for people not to like you. You can call out a guy and they'll be like, oh, we don't like you no more. Crazy as that sound. But for us to be taking a shadow boxing clip into account, you know, and you got big prominent, you know, articles that's coming out about this, like, what? It's a training video, and he was shadow boxing. He wasn't sparring, he wasn't doing anything. He was strictly shadow boxing, and we're making it so big of a deal. Like, let's see how he looks in a fight before we determine if he's getting slower or not. Let's not just throw just throwing anything out there. Because really, speed doesn't matter. When has Canelo ever been the fastest in the world? He hasn't. Like, you know, in all honesty, Canelo really should make light work of Crawford, being that, you know, he's jumping up in weight classes. But a lot of people starting to, you know, and I can understand why, because, you know, they starting to make me a believer, but I still I'm rooted in my ways. You know, I have to see it to believe it. And I'm going to be rooting Crawford on through and through. I am going to be rooting him on. I just feel like the weight is too much. Still, you know, his weight class is for a reason. You know, like, that's like, you know, me and my big cousin. You know, my big cousin who passed away, RP, his name is Tez, you know. Tez was 500, like, you know, on a good day. He's a big guy. I'm not that big, y'all see me? Even though I can fight and defend myself, it's going to be hard to keep Tez off of me, being that he's 400 pounds. Like, and I know we saying, oh, Crawford is, you know, he's moving up. He's going to be, who knows, you know, like you guys are saying, this is making him slow, even though I don't feel like that. You guys see that y'all might feel like he's slow, so that's why I still think the weight is too much. Now, I'm rooting for Crawford, but I've been a while ago, I said, you know, that I felt like the weight was too much. And I told you guys he would have to box a perfect fight. He would have to box a perfect, and he said he's not running, so that's kind of scary. You know, he said he's not going to be doing too much lateral movement. That's kind of scary there. So, you know, if he can control this fight with control his fight with his jab, that would be amazing. I think that's possible. I don't think Canelo has the best jab in the world. And in all honesty, Mexicans don't jab. So Crawford can't control the fight with a jab. So there's that. But yeah, I don't think we should be just, you know, jumping to the conclusion saying the guy looks slow because of a training clip. We don't know how fast he was going, how hard he was going. We don't know. Pause on that, you know. But respectfully, we don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section about, you know, Crawford and Canelo being on Netflix, and how do you guys feel about Netflix getting such a fight? Do you guys think they're gonna be able to handle it? You know, that's a big question. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. We're on the road to 10K subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. Turn up post notifications on. Don't find me on any other platform. My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at Visually. Follow my TikTok at LOE.Visually. Follow my Facebook at LOE Visually. Make sure y'all like this video for me. That's all I ask. You know, the likes keep me on the algorithm. You know, and make sure everybody sees this video. So do me that one solid. I love you guys so much. I'm out.